Hello and welcome to this episode of Spotlight 209, sponsored by Horseshoe Casino Hammond, offering a premier gaming and entertainment experience in Northwest Indiana. Our guest today has been a major player in shaping the region, both figuratively and literally, for almost a decade, with growing the Crossroads YMCA into an NWI staple with an immeasurable impact. Today, he's here to talk about the new extension at the Crown Point location called the Sports Center and a bunch of other things happening at the Crossroads. So without further ado, here is Mr. Jay Buckmaster. Jay?
How you doing, Alan?
How are you doing today?
I'm
good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good.
You know, for as much as you have going on, that hair isn't as gray as I thought it would be yet.
Yeah, it's all my staff that don't have any hair, right? If you look around, mine's fine.
Okay, so we're here to talk a little bit about the most recent news, the Sports Center opening up in Crown Point. Can you tell us, our audience, a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, I mean, one of the, all this is an evolution. And though it seems like it popped out kind of out of the ground, out of nowhere, this has been in a plan for years. And so one of the pieces that we want to do, we want to establish strong communities and have strong Ys in our communities. But we also want to be able to give those kids and families different experiences. So one, Triangle Hills would be an example, right? Outdoor camping, fishing, all those things. And many might have been out there, but that's a different experience that you don't build inside of a Y. And the Sports Center being another one, right? Sports has been, and Alan, you've grown up playing sports, right? It's different now, right? And so when you think about, I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar business, and so it's interesting because the history or the research around sports does not say that parents want to spend thousands of dollars a month and travel all over the country, to be able to play 3 games, 4 games, 5 games a weekend. the kind of sports is dictating that. And so how do we create an avenue where kids of all time frames, income levels, and interests can have those fundamental experiences, right? That they can not only, discover sports, but what if they want to play in a higher recreational or an advanced league? Could we lessen the burden of families around this region to be able to play high-level sports in a high values-based league or leagues right in their own backyard? And would that increase the amount of opportunities kids get in a variety of different sports? And so really that was what we set out to do a couple of years ago. And, just last week, that vision became a reality.
Yeah, well, I mean, the pictures looked insane. Looks like how many basketball courts and how many pickleball courts?
Yeah, 8, and that's the other thing. I've built sports centers before in other states, but what's interesting about this one is the other half is not more courts, it's pickleball courts. And so, the other thing I think was, understanding what's happening inside of our Ys and what's happening inside of our Northwest, community, Indiana community. And pickleball is growing, right? And some people, seem to think that it's an quote unquote old person sport. And I would kind of come back and say, well, that's about the only time we as YMCAs or other people are giving them court time, right? Because the nights are filled with volleyball and basketball and, all those things. And so what if we were able to provide access all the time to again, the same sports conversation goes into multi-level opportunities for people to build community around something they love at an affordable rate. And probably even more at a high level facility, right? You're not, like you said, those pictures, you're not walking into a renovated, old warehouse. I mean, we believe that Northwest Indiana, has some of the best YMCA facilities in the country. And we deserve it, quite frankly. Yep. Our kids deserve it. Our families deserve it. And we're going to continue to strive to do that because we believe more than ever that people want to be able to be healthy, be engaged, be connected, and they want to be part of something that reflects their identity, reflects that level of brand. And so we strive to do that through whatever we do.
When you're doing something like this and you're kind of creating this space at this level, how much is the data going in from the rest of your Ys and how people are interacting into creating this space and almost having the data dictate what the activities are compared to like your just belief and vision?
Yeah, I think what we've learned over the last decade is a couple things. One, we had to be more consistent as an organization, right? In what we call fulfilling our promise. So, our pools, we needed to have consistent schedules, right? Our gyms, we needed to provide different program opportunities, our monthly model, right? That is available for kids and families with multiple interests and, multiple time crunches. And that was great. What people underestimated, I know when I got here, I could play the naive card and say when we were looking at Hammond, well, people from, this community won't go to this community, or people in this community won't go to this community. One of the things I'm probably most proud of is we're on 11 YMCAs, right? When you think about it. And our goal is, with the finishing of Gary, that somebody will have, wherever you are, you should be within a 10 to 12 minute drive of a YMCA, right? And those YMCAs, you don't get one, like in most communities, you get 11. Yeah. Right. And those 11 have different features. So if we're consistent in the naming nomenclature, in the pricing, in the structure, in the systems, and this might be true for you, Alan, if something's not convenient at Crown Point, you could go to Cherville, you could go to Griffith, you could go to Hobart, you could go to Hammond. And what we're seeing is, about 16,000 people scan into the Y every single day. That's a lot of people.
Insane.
About 2,000 of those go to a Y that's not even in the community they joined. So they're going to meet a friend over here. They're going to this class. They want to play pickleball over here. They're going to a specialized gymnastics or personal training class over there. That's where I think the real power is, because every facility, we can't afford to nor would it be wise to create every feature in every facility. We just wouldn't have the resources to do it.
Right on. Well, you mentioned Gary, and I would like to kind of bring that up too, is that you're expanding into Gary. I think you said sometime between August and September that should be done. When you're looking at these places, what is that one going to offer, and what are you excited about when it comes to kind of, I guess, landing on that Plymouth Rock for the Y and what you got going on?
Yeah, I think every piece of this, people kind of get into, boy, the Y is growing fast, right? Or look at all these buildings. I think the two things are we're growing fast because the demand of people wanting these types of facilities and connections are there, right? And facilities are just part of the delivery process of how we need to deliver, these programs and activities. And so with Gary, what I'm most excited about is our two partners. We are going to be on the current campus of Holliston Park, which the Boys and Girls Club of Northwest Indiana is currently on there. And so we are partnering with them, and then Methodist Hospital. So there will be a clinic inside of there. And so when we looked in different communities, there are different things that rise up that are needs, right? And here it was this continued care from, you'll be able to have childcare from 6 weeks old all the way through high school. Wow. Right? In that campus. That's pretty amazing when you think about that piece. But also you think of healthcare, right? You've got well checks. You can do acute care things going on right there. And probably the other partner is our financial wellness partner. So not only, do we have a medical partner, but Wintrust is our financial partner. So we will have a quote unquote bank inside of there. So people with home loans or, different types of financial advice that they need.
Wow.
We believe all those things are a piece of wellness, right? It's not just treadmill wellness, right? It's everything. It's peace of mind wellness, that your kids are in a safe place. It's a time for yourself, being inside of our pool in the sauna and the steam room. I know you like those, Alan, right?
Oh, yeah.
Relaxation time. To have that safe place to connect with community. And so really excited about our partners and about the facility. If you've driven past there, I mean, it has again sprouted up. It'll be like the Crown Point expansion when we first did it. It'll be 80,000, square feet, and the Boys and Girls Club to that. So we're really excited about what that will bring.
Well, you mentioned that first Crown Point expansion, and I was there for opening night. What was that, 2018?
Yeah,
and it felt big at the time, but I think even as an outsider, I get a chance to kind of check in every once in a while, but just to see that it's not only was just big for Crown Point, but to see the stamp that you've now put on the region with the growth and the ambition is just awesome. And kudos to you for that.
Yeah, it's interesting. People have, when they leave and travel somewhere else, they come back and go, man. It's good to be back, right? I got my YMCA back. And vice versa, when people come here, they're like, man, my YMCAs don't look like this, right? And of course, thanks for that compliment, but it is so much more, as you know, than me, right? It's our partners like the Dean and Barbara White Foundation, the partners with the City of Hammond, the City of Crown Point, the City of Gary, right? The towns that we partner with. You've got incredible group of volunteers, our corporate board members who've put in way more time, right? Those corporate board members make me look like a rookie, right? I mean, they've been in here for 15 or 20 years, laying that groundwork, and obviously the you can only go as fast as the talent of your staff. And so, my staff is second to none. They highly talented, many of them, Alan. Just a real heart to impact the community. And a lot of them, they're users, right? As they say, they're not only members, but they're users, right? They're family members, go to the Y, so they want the best. And we're not always perfect, and we need to always improve our systems. But yeah, I think that's really exciting.
Yeah, it's awesome to see. I mean, as an observer, knowing you from that point is just really cool. So we also got renovation going on in Cherville. What's going on there? What can people expect once it's all done?
It's interesting. We of course take a lot of pride in studying each community, right? And some people say, well, we want our Ys to look like Southlake or look like Hammond. Well, there's a lot that goes into that, right? There's what are the what's currently around, right? We can't erase what's currently there. So Ys around the region. Where are we currently? Do we want to abandon, where we are? How many rooftops there are, right? I mean, all this stuff, as we know, we've been very blessed by capital contributions, but we've got to operate these things. And so, we look at that and we find opportunities where we can use our money most efficiently. The Cherville Y is one of those pieces, right? I mean, it was a partnership. It went from Omni to the Cherville Y back in 2022. There was a tenant there for a while in Jack's. They moved out, or they stopped business in last fall, and we knew there was just some opportunities more in Cherville. It kind of sits right in the middle of Lake County. There were some opportunities there to enlarge that footprint, and so that facility is going through about a 50,000 square foot renovation or expansion. And that will put that Y well over 200,000 square feet.
Man.
So when you think about that, it'll give us some opportunities to do some different things. So when you think around, recovery and all this kind of, we're still exploring, but you look at some of this recovery and saunas and different therapies and cold treatments, and those are some things being centrally located. We can't do it everywhere, but we had the square footage to do it here because we owned it. Will allow us to do that. It'll allow us to increase the gyms. It'll allow us to put some indoor turf in. It'll allow us to do some neat wellness things that maybe we haven't been able to do at other branches. And so that's under construction now. It'll have a huge track in the new area. We'll open that facility up. And so it'll go through about 3 phases. The first phase, the move over to Jack's, will happen. It'll happen a year from now. It will have happened. We'd be talking right now. We'd be talking about Cherville, right, next year at this time, and how neat that is. And then we'll have to renovate some of the areas where we've moved out of. So overall, the first phase will be done by probably Thanksgiving of next year. And then there's some locker room phases we're going to have to do and so on. So it'll get uncomfortable. There'll be some pinch points definitely at times. But the good thing is, like we saw in Hammond, is, if your Y is getting pinched a little bit with a renovation, and good things to come, just go to another one for a little bit. Right. So yeah, we're excited about that.
Awesome. Well, are you cool to stick around until after the commercial break for a little rapid fire?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Before we continue, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor.
Calling all college football and NFL fans, Game Day just leveled up at the Fan Cave inside the Horseshoe Hammond Casino. Watch 8 games at once with your crew in a private viewing area. Room for 15 fans with space to grow to 50. Craving great wings or a cold one? You and your guests will have access to a full food and bar menu with your own personal Fan Cave server running point. And when the final whistle blows, the casino fun is just steps away. Reserve your spot at the Fan Cave today, only at Caesar Sportsbook Horseshoe Hammond. Game Day, your way.
All right, so how about that voiceover? Did you hear that?
It's good.
Yeah, let's go. So this is the rapid fire segment. This is all about just random questions that I feel like just to kind of see where you're at.
Sure.
Okay, so first one, you've been doing this, we talked about 8 years. What's one thing you kind of look back? Is there a singular moment for you professionally that just you're very proud of and you look back on very fondly that maybe elevated above some others?
Man, that's a great question. Every moment that I have seems to be overtaken by the next moment that I have. But I will say, I think people probably would have expected a Crown Point Y more than they would have expected a Hammond Y to the size and scope that is. And so at this point, the Hammond Y, I think it defied people's expectations. I think people said I was crazy, right? And Mayor Tom and I and Phil, and that Y, that Y is at 36,000 members right now.
Great.
And if you walk in there, it is the hub of that community. And probably, again, a year from now, I'm going to tell you that, we've got 25,000 people in Gary, and I feel like that's been the proudest moment, but there's so many of them.
Awesome. So we'll talk about your ambition and getting on to the next thing. Where does your fire come from? Because I get a chance to talk to a lot of CEOs, a lot of presidents, and it just seems to be that like you're a little more driven than most and in an expansion. Where does that fire come from, Jay?
Yeah, I love to make a difference. I love to be able to organizationally and operationally create systems and strategies to just be better and be bigger. And so I think that's it. But I think mostly, I still walk around these branches. People say you'll see me at all over it at different locations. It is very vivid to me. The little kid who's walking down the hallway, the senior who's in water exercise class, the family who that's their place to go, the senior who maybe that's their safe place because they lost a spouse. I see this every day, right? And our staff see this every day. This impact is huge. And so that's probably the biggest thing.
When you were, let's say, in college and you're going through it, are you doing today what you expected to be doing then?
Man. I was going to be, my life goal was to be a swim coach, right? I swam in college. I was going to be a swim coach, and a first grade teacher is what I was going to do. So I was meeting with a new group of new staff, and I said I started as a part-time lifeguard at the YMCA 32 years ago. That's what it was.
What made you come to the YMCA? What brought you to it?
It was coaching and teaching kids, right? And I thought it was going to be coaching, but what I just said before, I realized that, you could have so much more impact. It just didn't need to be getting kids faster times in swimming, right? It was the energy around parent groups and, just that community that sports brings. It could even happen without sports, right? It could happen inside of YMCAs. As you know, you go into these Ys, there's tables of people connecting and having conversations. And this is really, their place, right? And so that's been a real motivator.
Awesome. Okay, so last one. You're sitting around the house. You got a little bit of free time. What kind of hobby are you getting into?
Oh, boy. So now that so it has to be in the house, huh?
Oh, either way.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you like to kind of.
I'm a reader, right? I'm a learner, so I'm always constantly reading and learning, and so that one fills my bucket. I would say also, I have two wonderful twins. Cade and Maya and Addie, my 13-year-old, and they're at such a cool age to spend time with them and be able to go golfing or be able to do different activities. And so doing that and now being able to spend a little bit more time with my wife Megan, that we don't have to. We have two more Ubers, right, in the house, so that's fun. So we've been able to go to this place or that place, and they've been very responsible. So that's been new for us.
Awesome. Well, mine are 5.
You'll get there.
They're 5 and 7 right now. They're in YMCA basketball. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, and you love each phase, right? But sometimes near the end, you hope you want to switch to the next phase, right?
Absolutely. Well, Jay, thank you so much for joining. You're someone I always admire. Think that you're doing an amazing job for the region. And so always a fan in your side. Let me know if there's anything you ever need. But just love watching you work, man. Keep going. Keep doing a good job. Well,
I appreciate all your work. I mean, you were one who donated and really gave so much time when we first opened the South Lake Y. You remember we had a membership summit here when all these Ys came, and I mean, you were just so valuable there, and we couldn't have done it without you. So the feeling is mutual.
Awesome, Jay. Well, thanks again.
All right. Thank you.
Later. So thanks for watching this episode of Spotlight, and make sure to check out some of the events going on at the venue at Horseshoe Casino Hammond, including Public Enemy on December 27th, I Love the 90s featuring Tone Loc, Young MC, and CNC Music Factory on January 23rd, and Brit Floyd on February 20th. To find out about all things happening in the region, go to the Times website at nwi.com or on their socials. And please, right now, we have a 12 Days of Christmas going on the Local 219 social media platforms where we're doing giveaways daily. New episodes drop every week on Thursdays, so be on the lookout. Thanks again for watching and have a great weekend.